Hello everybody and welcome to round 7 of the Cappuccino League here at vrroom.org, the home of online motorsport. I'm David Higgins, going to take you through the race as I normally do. Thank you very much for finding the YouTube channel and for finding the website. If you enjoy the racing here and you enjoy what you see, then please do get down to vrroom.org, check out what we're all about, and you too can be part of this competitive racing action that we're about to see. Just to put guys into picture here, we've got a guest appearance from VRDM, who wasn't signed to this league, but he stepped in into Team Devil from Team Rosso for Genobi, because Genobi has taken over as race marshal for this particular event due to unforeseen circumstances with Mustard. So we wish Mustard well and all the best for him and his family, and hope to see him back ASAP. So in terms of the circuit, we're here at Suzuka, and it's going to be quite a good race here. It's 7 laps, and it's quite tight at the top of the field, including Genobi, who isn't racing, but DM is going to be donating Genobi the points that he gets, basically. So DM racing on Genobi's behalf. Those of you who've watched before will notice that DM has changed to Genobi's colours and car. Just to stop any confusion whilst we're watching this. So, without further ado, we're going to get down and look at a lap here around Suzuka, courtesy of Team Rosso, and then we'll get on with the grid walk and we'll get on with the race. So, can't wait for this one to happen. Let's go and do that. So here we are then at Suzuka circuit in the heart of Japan. We're going to be on board with Team Rosso in a moment in one of the cappuccinos, just to show you a lap here and what it demands it puts on the racing driver, really. Very technical circuit, this one, and it's very, very easy to lose a lot of time. So we'll go on the chase cam this time of DM. So going around the Casio Triangle chicane for the first time. I'll just try and get that on-screen data off. Good, okay. So down the main straight, downhill, very steeply downhill, flat out in 5th gear, achieving speeds of near 135 miles per hour when you brake for the first corner, keeping it well wide to the left, swinging it into the right. A lot of trail braking, but not too much. Trying desperately to keep it off the asphalt on the left-hand side. Hugging the inside of the corner now as we go up through the S-curves. Crucial to get these right here, ladies and gentlemen. Try to get every single apex and also be very patient. Racing drivers have to be very patient when they're going through here, because it's very easy to drift wide if you're not very patient. So up and over the last of the S-curves down towards the Dunlop curve, which is the next left-hander. Accelerating hard up the hill, keeping it well to the left to swing out to the right, avoiding the sand and the asphalt on the right, or the grass, should I say, on the right. Approaching now, very high speed, Degner 1, Degner 2, blind on approach. You have to flick it in, take as much curve as you can, and again take as much curve as you can for Degner 2. Now if you look up, ladies and gents, you see the flyover there for 130R. This is a figure of 8 circuit, of course, running a clockwise direction. So down to the hairpin for the first time, very famous hairpin this, you'll have seen this on TV from Formula 1, of course. Clipping the apex beautifully there. Now we accelerate hard back uphill towards the spoon curve. Deceptive this, it's very easy again for the car to drift wide. You've got to keep quite tight to the inside, but not too tight, because that will scrub off speed. So heading down into Spoon Curve, you can see it's blind lane entry, it's a double left-hander. Planting the gas nice and early, then lifting off for the second bit of the Spoon Curve. Sticking nice and tight to the apex and flooring the pedal as soon as you can for the run down the hill and then back up the hill to the 130R, possibly the most scary corner other than Eau Rouge at Spa in the world. This one is quite blind on entry and is taken at full pelt if you have a correctly modified Cappuccino. Need plenty of aero to get around here, so flick it in. Bravest of racing drivers taking that flat out, going back up to the Casio Triangle chicane, braking hard for the right-left flick, taking as much of the chicane as possible, but keeping both tyres on the tarmac, which is absolutely crucial. So down the hill for the big run to complete one flying lap of Suzuka circuit. We're looking at about 2 minutes 45 seconds here in the Cappuccinos. So now back for the grid walk. Okay, so time for the obligatory grid walk then. So on the front row in P1 and P2 we have got to the right hand side of your screen by GHP, followed by Mr. Zcar himself making a welcome return and doing very, very well in this championship, may I add. In P3 and P4, to the right of your screen, P3 there in the grey car, we have Raptor in number 41, and then to the left of him you can see Freddy Cat, the very fast Freddy Cat and defending champion, may I add. So going down to P5 and P6, we have Mr. Green, followed by the first of the Rosso Racing Cars, JB Player 1. Ex-champion, remember. Behind him in P7 and P8 we've got VR Badger supporting number 19, and then standing in for Genobi in Team Devil Racing is VR DMJ doing a guest appearance there. In 9th and 10th then we have, just looking at my list, we have Race 42 and IRT. Race 42, number 42 in the white car with blue eyes there, and the blue car to the left is IRT. In P11 and 12, I beg your pardon, we've got the two SVRTs of Mad Dog McTaz just pipping his teammate McSheepy for the penultimate slot on the grid. Now, right at the back then, we've got Mystico Chris following up in number 1 in the green. So this should be a very exciting and a reasonably long race at 2 minutes 40 a second. I can't wait to see what happens. So, keep tuned and we'll find out. Okay, so the lights are about to change and go to green. Let's see if anyone gets a false start, if everyone gets away okay. So, screaming down into the first corner, it's GHP, got a good start from Zcar, who's under a lot of pressure from Raptor behind him. Freddy Cat has dropped back a little bit, but is under pressure himself from Mr. Green. Down into the first turn, let's see if everyone completes this phase quite well. Fantastic shot there as they go up to the spoon curve. Really is make or break on a circuit for me, that particular corner. There's so much time to be gained or lost there. So even though sometimes you feel like you're going particularly fast, you're actually not. Oh, look at that pearlescent car there of GHP. He has planted it. Number 66 there as we're watching. He's absolutely flying, absolutely flying. There's no other way to describe it. So on the back of his car, let's see the rest of the field there. He's got a nice big gap from Raptor and Zcar, who've just switched places. Freddy Cat, Mr. Green, followed by Badger, followed by JB, Badger and Raced 42. IRT has pipped DM, so DM had a seemingly bad start there. McSheepy and McTaz living with it at the back, and Chris actually just been nabbed by McTaz. I think we're going to have to go on board with Zcar on the outside of his vehicle as we come down to the hairpin for the first time. Fantastic shot as they're going around, and what a lead already GHP has got. He really wants the victory here and he's sniffing that. Cars look fantastic now for the first drag up to the spoon curve on lap 2 of on lap 1 of 7 here. Everything's looking pretty good for Mr. Zcar. Further down the pack then with Mr. Green under a lot of pressure from JB, keen to try to get through the field and catch up to Freddy Cat, of course. Now JB's main rivals, I believe, here are Mr. Green and Freddy Cat and GHP, so he's not going to want to be tailed off by them. And 3 abreast virtually as we go down with Mr. Green, number 14, who's tight up behind Freddy Cat. And to the left there we've got Raptor, I believe, on the screen. And it's 3 abreast now into 130R. Oh my lord, heart in your mouth everyone. Let's see if they get round here in one piece, will they? He's just got in front, a bit of a nudging. People have gone wide, and that's JB off in the background, I think. My words, everybody did get round to the Casio Triangle for the first time intact, only just. We've got someone very, very wide there. I'll have to click back to whoever that is. I think it might have been Raptor. Oh, hang on, no, big collision. And, yeah, slowing it down. We've got Mr. Green in the pits. Big collision there by lots of people. There's a yellow flag being called. So you'll see the guys at the front slowing down. You can see already GHP being given the instruction to slow down. So we need to find out what happened. There was something in the back of the pack there. So I'm going to go down to... we'll go down to McSheepy. And we'll go on the roof cam because he's just back from this pack, and let's see what happened up ahead. Several cars side by side. McSheepy has gone off, and DM has hit. DM and Badger have hit each other, and that screeching off there, just being missed, was IRT. in the middle of the circuit. Now IRT, I don't know whether IRT caused that, to be honest with you. I've got to go back and have another look at that while we're under yellows. So on the back of IRT's car, in fact, let's go on the, let's just look from IRT's point of view here. We're on his roof cam. Did he get tapped to the back? No, it was IRT that went wide. No, it wasn't IRT that went wide. IRT's made it round there, so I'm wondering what's happened here. Oh, he's just spun up the tyres. No, he's been hit by Mr. Green at the back. It's absolute carnage. I don't really know where that started off, if I'm honest with you. Let's go on the picture from VRDM's point of view. Just replay that again, because I know DM he's had some contact with VR Badger. DM racing in yellow, of course. That's JB wide up ahead. So let's just see, try and figure out what's happened. Mr. Green's had an accident. It's Mr. Green that's caused the accident, I think. I'll go on board with him in a second. And then he's hit Badger and sent Badger into DM. So that's not good news. Let's just go on and see if I can find out. My theory was correct. I think it was Mr. Green who had the initial problem there. Let's have a look. So we're on board with Mr. Green. He's getting nudged at the back there, and he's just been overtaken by Freddy Cat. So let's see what happened into the first corner. Or did Mr. Green get a tap from the back? No, Mr. Green's had a hit from the back. I apologise. So who was just behind Mr. Green at that moment in time? It might have been... Oh, good lord, this is a hard one to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try one more time just to discover that. So let's figure out who was behind Mr. Green. It was Raptor, so let's go on board with Raptor. I think Raptor's hit the back of Mr. Green and then caused the whole kerfuffle. Let's have a look. No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. I think it was Mr. Race 42. So let's go back on board and have another look. I've got to figure this one out. So we're on board with Race, and I think Race has outbraked himself, got into the back of Mr. Green, and then it's all kicked off. So here's Race, and he's on the brakes, and yes, he's hit Mr. Green. Mr. Green has catapulted forward into everyone else, swung out, hit a Badger, who's then hit DM and caused a complete ruckus. So bit of an outbreaking there from VR Race 42. Now, in the meantime, we're going to see people into the pits, of course. Mr. Green there entering. I better try to catch up with the race a little bit, if I can. We're still under yellow flags here. For those of you, I think we're getting the release now. Actually, it's going to be green flags in a moment. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're now on the release. We are on the release on lap 2 of 7. So do you know with the race marshal releasing that quite early, everyone's obviously out of the pits. So we go again on lap 2 of 7 for the race. Now, what I was talking about, ladies and gents, if you're new to motorsport or you haven't watched this before, here at VR Room we run with full damage simulation, and we run with no ABS, so no driver race. So what you're seeing essentially is the cream of the crop. You're seeing the best players on GT5 today, soon to be GT6, may I add. Now, the yellow flag rule happens obviously if the room marshal is watching the race and there seems to be a lot of problems, or there's more than sort of 2 or 3 people involved in an incident, they call yellows. So just like the real world, basically you have to slow down half racing speed under yellow flag situation to allow people to pit and then catch back up. Unfortunately, it does penalise you slightly because you have to catch back up, but at least it keeps the racing nice and close and fair and as close to real as we can keep it. We're not then allowed to go until you get green flags, and again it's the race marshal that says when the green flags are and when there will be, and the race marshal's in constant communication via headsets to all the drivers. Z-Cart's looking very, very close to GHP. GHP going defensive down there. So basically it's as real as you can get racing here at VRU. We also have penalties as well for people who've been naughty boys, etc. Which is fair enough, you know, points deductions, race penalties, that kind of stuff. And that's why you get the best players on this site. Now, it's important, of course, to keep your tyres warm while you're on yellows. Because when you get the release, the last thing you need is cold tyres. And that's how good the simulation is. It really does count here. So, back to the race. We've got Z-Car leading from GHP, from Fred Cat. We'll go on the back of Z-Cart's car. Very, very close for the lead. So this is P1, 2 and 3 you're watching here. GHP and Freddy Cat in the background. On the back of Raptor's car is in 4th place. We've then got JB Player and Race, who is up into 6th. Behind that we've got DM, followed by Mr. Green and VR Badger. And behind that, if we go on Mad Dog's car, you can see there, everyone's kind of a little bit spaced out. We've got IRT, Mad Dog and Co Chris. A little wide there from Mad Dog, but he's managed to make it stick around Degner 1 and Degner 2 under the flyover. So we're on with VR Raced, who's giving JB Player a hell of a lot of stick here on the outside, and he's out braking him, but no, he's had to yield that. I don't think he will make that stick, to be honest with you. A lot to be said for the inside line, but he's done a wonderful cutback. Mr. CD is on fire, he's done a cutback, but he's got the outside line on the drag up to the spoon curve, and that's not going to help him. But if he can sustain that and stay on the left-hand side of JB, he's going to be able to sustain the position into this spoon curve, and you're about to see that happen, ladies and gents. JB is going to have to yield this one. A very brave man to go around the outside. JB himself trying to cut back on the inside, and he's going to make that stick, so JB will be able to get that power down at a better time just before Mr. CD. And of course these two battling, it's enabling VRDM in the yellow car in number 52 supporting Genovi's colours to catch up, and also Mr. Green putting him under a lot of pressure there as well. So it's side by side for JB and Race as they come up to the 130R corner. You can see the leaders just going around there ahead, and they've all decided to train up behind each other. Now let's hope we don't get another ruckus into the first corner, because race 42 is there and Mr. Green is there. No, and the boys have thought wise of that. It's a lot easier to do when you're not going sort of 5 abreast into it. And to be fair to Mr. CD versus the previous comments, you know, it's very hard to not outbrake yourself there when there's so much going off on circuit. We've all done it from time to time. It's just one of those racing incidents, to be honest with you. It's just something that can happen. It happens to all of us, and I think if any of us say that it doesn't, we're lying, quite frankly. So, still very close then between positions 5, 6, 7 and 8 here. So up in the lead, Zcar has got into the lead meanwhile from Fredcat. GHP has been overtaken. I wonder if he had a bit of an incident there, because he's down in 4th. There's GHP by himself, and he's being caught by Raced quite quickly. So Freddy Cat and Zcat having a right royal ding dong up the front. It's very, very close. Freddy Cat is number 43, I think he was, on the side of his car. They're supporting yellow. And Freddy Cat and Mr. Green, of course, are fellow Devil teammates of Genovi. So they've got DM running alongside him for today. Round Degner, what a superb shot of them as they shoot round Degner. This is for the 4th time out of 7, so there's 3 laps to go. Doesn't sound a lot, but at 2.5 minutes, nearly 3 minutes a lap, it is a lot. So on the back of Freddy Cat's car, in fact we should go on the back of Zed Cat's car, to be honest with you. Oh, very close stuff now. Very close stuff. Any one of these could win the race. I thought Freddy Cat had got a bit of a run there. But let's not discount Raptor, who's very, very close in the background. GHP looks like he's catching a little bit. I think it's worth and time now to... Oh, we might see him planting one down the outside here. As we come up to Spoon, he's got the inside line. Will he seize the initiative on the brakes? No, he's backed out of that one. Thought wise of it. Let's just get a feel for the live timings. Fastest guy on track at the moment is a 1:23.8, so it's Raptor. Raptor is very, very, very quick, and he's obviously sitting back there. He's 1.1 seconds behind Zcart, but I think his kind of game plan here is probably to watch Zcart and Freddy maybe collide and have a problem. So we'll remove the on-screen data now, and we'll just go to look at them as side by side into 130R with Raptor backing out of it slightly. Oh my word, that's close stuff, very close stuff, and Raptor goes very wide into Casio Triangle Chicane. Meanwhile in the background we've got JB running wide on VR Race 42 running wide as well. DM on the inside there, DM overtaking by the looks of it. Let's just have a look who's going to come out on top, and it's DM. DM's got the inside line, bit of a clip from Mr. Green there, and JB slotted in, but DM has got past. So DM hopefully now can pull away a little bit. We'll just see though, because it's very difficult to get away from people's slipstreams, but my word, that's tough in the mid-pack. 5, 6, 7 and 8 there. Very, very close stuff. Let's go on the back of VRDM's car as he goes defensive from Mr. Green, trying to stop Mr. Green go away. Mr. Green's gone back to the outside. JB's there, and Race 42's there, and just behind Race 42, Mad Dog McTaz is also in the mix as well, with McSheepy seemingly catching up. So with all the squabbling, it's affecting lap times, but everybody's really close. And JB wide again. He's getting muck on his tyres. He lost it. Oh, he's managed just to sustain that as they go up through the spoon curve for lap 5 of 7. My word, that's close. And in the meantime, back in the lead, this lead pack just marginally away from GHP. We've still got Raptor, Zcar and Freddy for a 3-way ding-dong. We're going to have to stick with this for a little while, I think. And it's fantastic to see this from these guys. Everyone racing on here is absolutely superb. And sometimes it can be down to, not just down to raw speed, but it can be down to racecraft, and really that's what I will put it down to. The Cappuccino, of course, we are allowed to tune the Cappuccinos to to do whatever, you know, whatever the players want to do with them. The only rules is race modified to 137 brake horsepower, which is the maximum, and then of course the only other stipulation here at VR Room for this particular league is sports soft tyres. So no racing tyres here, it's sports soft. Because we've got a bit of an off if they crash. No, so that was Raptor and Freddy Cat running wide, and that's given Z-Cat the lead, which was that's absolutely fantastic stuff. So Z-Cat now up into the lead from Freddy Cat and Raptor. Still chasing hard, and let's have a look at this guy. GHP is putting in those lap times. He is catching back up. If they could give us a better angle than that, we'll see that just ahead, going around the 130R there, is P1, 2 and 3. So we might see GHP able to catch up onto the back of Raptor. If we go in the back of Raptor's car, who's very wide into the Casio Triangle chicane there, you can see GHP has caught up quite well, and visually, really, he's a lot closer than he was. So yeah, I was going back to the type of tyre. Basically, Sports Soft is just enough grip but not too much, so there's a lot of driver skill involved. And then of course, some of the guys on here, you know, they'll spend hours and hours tuning and practicing and testing, because of course when it's a fixed race calendar, you know, the guys know where they're going to be fighting. Now actually I've got a clip to this in the background, because again it's a three-way ding-dong still. DM defending on the inside in the yellow car from JB Player, who's actually his current teammate in Rosso. DM standing in, as we said earlier on, and Mr. Green absolutely weaving like mad in the background, trying to put the frighteners on JB, but he's well harder than that, Mr. JB. He won't be worrying about that, he'll just be keeping on the racing line. Mr. Green's going to have to be very careful, because driving like that he might chuck it off. Sometimes I find it's better just to hang back that little bit and wait for that little bit of a mistake. But it's easy for me to say, really, that, isn't it? It's always difficult when you're in the heat of battle and you've got the red mist. Excuse me. Excuse me. So lap 6 or 7, the current race order is Z-Cat from Raptor, from GHP, from Fredcat, from VRDM, Mr. Green, JB Player 1, VR Raced, Mad Dog Mataz and Sheepy, VR Badger having a really bad do of it, down in 10th, and Co-Chris running down there in 11th. Nothing really close there. I don't think IRT. Oh, and that's Mad Dog McTaz has gone off, unfortunately for him, off at Degner there. And that's enabled him, Co-Chris and IRT, to get past. He's going to have to be careful, because those tyres will be very dirty when he gets going again. So the lead group now has a gap of 9 seconds to VRDM, and there's no way he'll catch that back up, to be honest with you. The fastest guy on track at the moment is GHP with a 2:23.367. So it's all quite close, to be honest with you. Some of the guys are in 23, some guys are in 24s. Side by side stuff again, very brave round 130R. Who's going to be the best on the brakes to start the penultimate lap down into the Casio Triangle chicane? And it's Z-Cat just nicked it from Raptor. GHP has got Freddy Cat, so whilst I was monologuing and clipped away, Freddy Cat has now dropped down to 4th. So GHP, and where is Freddy Cat? He must have made a mistake there, either that or a bit of contact. Because I didn't see it, I won't rewind, so I don't know how far back it happened. But that's bad news for Freddy Cat. But still, 4th place is not to be sniffed at. It's still good, solid points. Raptor and Z-Cat. Oh, hammer and tongs round the first corner. This is the last lap, ladies and gentlemen, so this should be a ding-donger to watch. One of those three is going to win the race, and it could be any of them. And it's quite close behind. DM has pulled out a bit of a gap, so the next closest battle really on track is JB and Raced. Mr. Green has disappeared, so Mr. Green obviously feeling he'd had enough in that race. He must have had a crash. Again, I didn't see it, and I don't want to rewind because I'm not sure exactly when it happened. I do apologise. I do play these and say them as I see them, as you all know. So if I don't see something, it's very difficult for me to go back and make a judgment call on it. So I apologise to Mr. Green for that, but it's just like real life, you know, it's may well be recorded highlights. This race, of course, was run on the 15th of September 2013, Sunday evening between 8 and 10. This was the first race. 10-minute qualifying period first, of course, and it's looking like Raptor is going to win this now. We'll go back to Z-Cat there, and catching back up again is Freddy Cat. I wonder if he might get a little bit of slipstream going down the straight towards 130. JB, and as you can see how far behind DM and JB are, and race 42. Not much happening, everyone's spread out there. So Raptor seemingly looking like he's got this one in the bag. I wouldn't expect him to throw this one away as he approaches Spoon Curve. Zcar still side by GHP, so this is a race for second and third places, ladies and gents. And going slightly wide with Zcar there, but he won't give up. He's a very dogged character and he's very, very quick. Ex-champion, remember Zcar? Freddy Cat in the background is the defending champion, and slipstreaming side by side. Zcar on GHP, and he's got up on the inside. Surely he's going to make this stick. GHP will have to yield to Zcar as they go round. Let's have a look, and he has done. Now he's going to be on the brakes now. GHP has got to try to get him back on the brakes into the Casio Triangle chicane. It's his only hope, but going tight, keeping to the inside is Zcar. And Zcar is going to hold that. So Zcar is, I would think, going to come second in this race. So going round and over to win the race, we can see Raptor. Fantastic win for Raptor. Very well played indeed. And backwards to Zcar, just from GHP, just from Freddy Cat. So very well played, boys. That's first, second and third. Coming round in fifth for Team Devil, giving the points to Genobi, is DM. Closely followed by JV Player and Race 42 over the line there in 7th and 8th. McSheepy in 9th and VR Badger in 9th. IRT in 10th. Finishing up, and then coming round behind we've got Mad Dog following up in 11th. Unfortunately not scoring any points, very unlucky for Mad Dog. And then last but not least is Co Chris. So fantastic race that, very, very well played to all the protagonists. And thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the racing that you've seen, please tune into the YouTube channel and subscribe using whatever device you're on. It'll be greatly appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you soon for the next round. I'll get those up as soon as I can.